Hello, and welcome to Writing 280, Intro to Rhetoric for Writers. So in this class, we cover rhetorical theory, and we're talking about rhetorical theory development from ancient Greek culture through contemporary times. So how are we using ideas of rhetorical theory now, today, in civilization, and the impact and the connection on writing? Like, why do English studies people, specifically writing studies, so people from my discipline, study rhetorical theory to help us help writers and to help us understand writing and text as it circulates and exists within society. So that's the focus of our class. We're going to start with ancient Greeks. We're going to come through contemporary. We're going to make connections to a lot of the ways we understand. There is a huge, and you're going to see this in the theories, there's a huge disconnect between essentially pre-1960 rhetorical theory. So I'm talking ancient Greek rhetorical theory development through 1960, and then in the 1960s, theorists started realizing that the approaches that our brain uses to develop ideas is different than the approaches our brain uses to analyze ideas. So much of that shift, I know we take for granted today, but we didn't understand the brain. And so we need to give thousands of years of scholars a huge pass because they didn't understand the brain and they didn't understand how the brain operated. And so then as we got more advanced with brain science and then our brain science imaging, we started realizing writing is really complicated, communicating is really complicated, and there are various parts to it. So how do we start to break that down? And so we're going to see a huge shift pre-1960, the ways that rhetorical theory is developing and the ways that we're talking about rhetorical theory. And so like the whole first half, like the first 7 weeks of this class, we're not talking about rhetorical theory as a way to analyze and to pick apart and to critique. That is not what rhetorical theory was built on. That was not its purpose. That is not how those concepts exist. They exist to help the speaker create and invent being one of the biggest words, the communication that they're then sharing, the message that they're sharing, who they're sharing it with, and how they're understanding all of that. That was it. That was the goal of rhetorical theory. The more we were able to invent meaningful communication for a specific purpose, for a specific audience within a specific context, the more effective democracy would be. And then the more effective we could communicate with each other, specifically in relation to citizenship. And then the healthier and the more educated our citizenship, the healthier and more educated our democracy, the better we thought civilization is. And those are kind of the ways that rhetorical theory developed alongside government theory. Okay, so we're going to start at the very basics. This first week, we're doing definitions. So what I want you to do is from this video, which is in the announcement, over on the left-hand side of the home page, you'll see content browser. You're going to click on in the content browser, you'll see, right now you only see module 0 and then week 1. Each of the weeks will pop up eventually. We're going to go slow so that I don't overwhelm you. And you'll use those weeks to help you navigate. Everything you need for that week is going to be available in that week. So don't use the menu at the top of G2L and try to find assignments and try to find submissions. Use the weeks under the content browser label to find everything that you need contained in one unit altogether. So from right here, start with module 0. So you go through the syllabus information and you're really clear on when my office hours are, what my attendance policies are, what my late submission policies are, what the overall assignments are going to look like in this class and what we're going through. And then go to week 1 because you do have guided notes due this week. So make sure you go to module 0 to understand the overview of the class, and then week 1 to ensure that you get your assignments done for this week. If you have any questions, come to office hours, send me an email, or there is an open question discussion forum in D2L that you can use to pose questions for me there, and I will answer them. Lots of ways you can get a hold of me. Let me know how I can help. I'll see you online.